Hey guys, Corey here. How are we? Happy Friday. I'm just going to check in with you guys and talk about how to create systems in your business that can promote and amplify your retention in your practice. Retaining clients is everything. One of the most damaging things in business is singular transactions. And what that means for us in healthcare is that people that come once and never come back. The reason that is because it just costs so much to go and market, costs so much to buy a customer. So when we get them in the door, we really want to make sure that we provide a great system for people to follow that can have them coming to us in the absolute guarantee that they're in the right place. We have their best interest at heart and they're coming to us for a clinical outcome to help them get them result to the problem that they've come and seen you for. The first system we'll look at is the length of time that we're actually taking for our initial consult. Now, one of the major pieces of feedback that we get, and the way in which we're able to get that feedback, is that we ask pretty much every client that comes to us, have you seen an allied health professional before? Have you seen a physio in the past? 9 times out of 10 people have seen an allied health professional in the past. And one of the most common pieces of feedback that we get on asking about their past experience was that it just felt rushed, felt like they weren't present, and it felt like they were sort of just churning and burning people on a day-to-day basis. What we wanted to do was learn from that and change the rush factor in healthcare. And so what we do is actually offer longer initial appointments. And for us at Studio Fizz, we offer 60-minute initial appointments. The reason is that the initial consult is everything. That's where all the magic happens. And it's for people to actually finally come and seek help for a problem that they've probably put off for a while. It's probably last resort now. And in the final attempt to actually do their health, and they come in and we rush them, how is that a high level of care? I honestly don't know how people run 20-minute or half an hour initial appointments. Think about what you have to go through. You have to welcome, set the agenda, go through medical history, do the right assessments, do the right testing, perform some relief, some treatment, then formulate the plan, then make sure that that plan makes sense, build the excitement, let them know they're in the right place and this is the right time, hand over to the admin team, process payment. It's a process. And if you don't want it to feel rushed, create the system in that initial consult so that every single team member has time to take people through what they need to do to make sure that people come away from that initial consult with a clear plan in place. And that leads into my second point, which is a system for treatment plans. If we fail to plan, we're planning to fail. Remember, most people don't care about what we do until they realize how much we care. So we need to actually have a plan in place, and that comes through the filter of a treatment plan. The treatment plan should have and should be created in the initial consult. It should have, well, what's going on? Because the 3 questions that pretty much every client is wondering is, how bad is it? Number 1. How long is it going to take to get right? Number 2. And what do I have to do to get on top of this thing? Number 3. So if we fail to answer those 3 questions, we've almost failed to meet their expectations. So that's why we need to provide a treatment plan. Treatment plan, likely prognosis, what's going on, how many sessions this is going to take, frequency of visits, and simply when you talk about offering that treatment plan, comes in the form of a case. So case recommendation. You recommended that case of treatment. Second part that quite often gets missed is, did that recommendation get accepted? Because people just they don't want to make it awkward. And so if they're actually not open to follow your recommendation, it's unlikely that they're going to tell you. What typically will happen is they might make another appointment, but they'll probably cancel it. So a great way to gain people's acceptance for a case of visits or to get through a full phase of treatment is to actually say, hey, look, well, this is what's going on. This is how long it's going to take to get right. This is the frequency of visits. This is based on you following my recommendation. This is how long it could potentially take. Say something like, hey, are you interested in following my advice? Yes. If they are, great. Then book in that full treatment. If they say no, then okay, well, it kind of leaves a bit of a, well, what are you doing here kind of moment. And then at least if they aren't open to following your advice and they don't rebook, then maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe that you've saved your time, their money. Look, we can't help everyone. And, you'd prefer for them to tell you that they're not open to it up front rather than mucking anyone around. And the other side of that is you have a full caseload of people who are primed for a great experience, who are on a pathway to getting a clinical outcome with you. And if you help every single person that you see reach their goals, think about that reputation that you're creating or your team's creating or the reputation the business is creating as a result. After the initial consult, if we really want to retain people, if we really want to add more value than anyone else out there, what we need to do is, if we're going to prescribe a treatment, then make sure that we check up on that person. And I know a lot of places don't do this, but a great way to do that is to actually give that client a call the next day. It's what's called a support contact call. What you can do is just simply pick up the phone and just check in. Hey, it's Corey, your physio from Studio X Phys. I'm just checking in to see if you had any questions from yesterday. Did the plan make sense? How did you pull up from that treatment that we did? Did you get exercises? The majority of the people that talk to us about their experience often talk about how amazed they were to receive a personalised call from their physio the next day. And think about how that primes them for the journey ahead when they know that you care at that level. So it's very amazing. If we're going to create retention systems in the business, look at our initial appointment times. Is it too rushed or have we got enough time? Think about the treatment plans. Are we putting plans in place? Are we recommending the best recommendation and we're getting people to accept the plan? And thirdly, are we actually reaching back out to the client and offering even more support in the way of a phone call to make sure that that plan made sense, that when they got home, it all sunk in well, they're ready to go and they're primed for a great experience ahead. The other thing is obviously how you actually book and the frequency of visits. Now, this is obviously based on condition, case by case, condition by condition. What we want to do is look at the frequency of visits and just think, well, okay, so what's going to be best? What's going to receive the best outcome? Is it once a week? Is it twice a week? But what we see in terms of being able to get the best results, we actually front load the appointments. So say 3 appointments in the first 10 days. Now what that does is it gives you the ability to get them out of pain more quickly. And it also gets you the ability to be able to build deeper rapport and deeper trust in quicker amounts of time because you actually get to hang out more frequently at the start. And think about how you'd feel if you did a treatment with someone, you booked them in a week later, then they had a reaction to the treatment or they ended up worse off and you didn't know about it and they come back a week or they didn't do their exercise, something didn't make sense and they cancelled. You wouldn't know. Again, not the highest level of care that if you really want to go high level to be proud of. So early front loading of appointments, frequency of visits at once a week, twice a week based on the best recommendation. Provide the best recommendation first and then only then if you get objections to the best recommendation do you steer off to your second or third recommendation. But I hope that helps. Look at your initial appointment time. Look at what's happening in that time, making sure it's not rushed. We want to build we want to take from someone from anxious, unaware, don't trust us, don't know if they're in the right place, to know who we are, trust us, we have their best interests in mind, there's a plan in place for them, their tomorrow's brighter with you in it. Treatment plans, making sure that they have an effective treatment plan and they're followed up, and the frequency of visits coincides with your best recommendation. And if you do those things, I can guarantee you'll see a major shift in the retention of how long you're actually seeing clients for and how long they're actually hiring you to do the job on getting them pain-free, helping them with an improved quality of life and getting them back to do the things that they love to do. So I hope that helps. Have an awesome Friday and a great rest of your weekend, and check in again soon. Cheers guys, bye.